12 days until the election, and experts are analyzing this race through every possible lens and demographic. And there is one group that caught our eye in the polls, and that's divorced men. New data from the American Survey Center shows 56% of divorced men support former President Trump, compared to 42% of divorced women. It's the divorce gap, and it marks the largest gender divide in political preferences among all relationship statuses. Some experts suggest that divorced men who feel marginalized by changing gender expectations and social roles are trending conservative, while divorced women are moving more left. Compare those numbers to that of married men and women. The gap narrows significantly, reflecting a more aligned voting trend among those who are married. Ralph Brewer is with us. He's the founder of helpformen.com, and Alex Wacey, a recently divorced Democrat in Philadelphia who is voting in this election for Donald Trump. To you both, thank you so much for being here. Alex, let me start with you. How did you reconcile your decision as a Democrat to vote for Trump, and how did your personal experience going through a divorce influence your decision?
Sure. Thanks for having me on. So mine's mainly economic. I'm raising my daughter on my own. I have to be self-responsible, and personal responsibility is incredibly important to me. A lot of the economic policies that the Democrats are proposing, student loan forgiveness, down payment assistance, artificial pricing, these not only intervene in my ability to be responsible for my daughter and myself, but they also will have disastrous downstream economic effects. So for me, I side more with Trump when it comes to the economy.
Right. It's making ends meet. Ralph, for you, you say that divorced men in your community and those that you talk to feel sidelined. How so?
Very much ostracized overall in the community. We feel as divorced men, we don't have much of a voice. I've often said that the overall template or atmosphere that we see in our world is kind of like, suck it up, Mr. Divorced Man. We know you're going through a lot, but you know, you're a man, tough it out. While we see the women in our lives, the ex-spouses, if you will, they hear more of a kind of a you go girl, and more of an empowering message. And that's something that a lot of men don't hear in my world, and they feel kind of pushed aside as a result.
Alex, have you experienced that double standard?
Again, I wouldn't say I have. I really try to focus on myself and how I can control the controllables. So for me, it's not so much about what I'm hearing about other divorced men or other divorced women. It's more about what can I do to put myself in the best position to be stable and successful.
Ralph, I know that you say that a lot of divorced dads have to push the restart button. What does that look like, and how have you heard through your audience and those you communicate how it influences their political views?
Well, the restart comes in the form of the template for what they thought their life was supposed to be. They thought that they were going to be a good provider, a good father, and everything would kind of fall into line. And when a lot of the men that I talked to are in the worst case scenario of being cheated on and left, and substance abuse on the part of their partner and so forth. And so they kind of have to really reconfigure their entire life. Everything that they thought was going to be has completely been rewritten. And so they feel, again, ostracized, left out. Society overall says, it is what it is, just deal with it. And so I think they are attracted to maybe a more hyper-masculinized, if you will, message that probably comes more so, definitely comes more so from the right than it does the left. A message that says not only are you okay for being a guy, but you're actually better for being a guy.
Alex, is there a community for divorced men, for dads who are going it alone and don't have a lot of support?
Online, you can find it on places like Reddit, but in real life, no, there's not. I agree with a lot of what Ralph just said. It is pretty ostracizing and pretty eye-opening experience to be on your own when you thought you were going to have a partner in this life for the rest of your life.
And politically speaking, I mean, we're 12 days out. How are the campaigns reaching this group of divorcees? And are they at all? Or do you all feel ignored with some of the challenges that you face? Ralph, I'll send that question your way.
If there's the message that is directly going to divorced men in particular, I have not heard it. I don't hear that at all. And I think the general message of, hey, men, we hear you. Hey, Joe Sixpack, middle of the road America, everyday dude, we hear you. I think it's a little bit too late from the left. For example, we saw with the Harris campaign, they recently came out with a little advertisement saying basically, hey, everyday man, we hear you. And it was a little too late. And I think they really dropped the ball. That was really poorly done.
Yeah, and Alex, how about you as a Democrat supporting Trump now? What would you have liked to have heard from Kamala Harris or the party to address some of your needs and concerns?
For me, the Democratic Party is too idealistic these days, and uncomfortable truths about the economy and other things are pushed aside in the name of saying whatever sounds best. And I just am disenfranchised by that idea.
Ralph, what's the biggest misconception about divorced men, single dads?
The knee-jerk reaction from everyone in our social circle is one that we are to blame for our current situation. Like Alex, for example, a lot of men saying, I was left. I was, completely surprised by this divorce, and my spouse has left and left me with the children. And a lot of people, the knee-jerk reaction is, well, he's the man. He must have been at fault for some reason. He must have done something wrong. And again, that message lends itself to being attracted to people that say, you're not wrong. You're a guy. Let's celebrate you being a guy and your masculine nature, if you will. And I think that's where the right attracts a lot of men.
Ralph Brewer, Alex Wacey, interesting conversation. I appreciate you both stopping by. Your voice matters here, and it matters in this election, and I'm sorry that it's been overlooked, but appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.